Welcome to the webinar for Key Action 1, Individual Mobility Between Programme Countries. Please note that this is a pre-recorded webinar. If you have any questions after watching this webinar, please contact the Erasmus Plus Higher Education Help Desk. The contact details are at the end of the presentation. The latest information about UK participation in Erasmus Plus after Brexit can be found on the Brexit update page of the Erasmus Plus UK website. Please check this page regularly or subscribe to our newsletter to receive the latest updates. I'm going to give you an overview of the programme. Erasmus Plus is the successor to the Lifelong Learning Programme. The programme will run until 2020, so 2019 will be the 6th year of the programme. The programme is structured around 5 different actions. Key Action 1, Mobility of Individuals. Key Action 2, Cooperation for Innovation and the Exchange of Good Practices. Key Action 3, Support for Policy Reform. Jean Monnet, which is about higher education activities around European integration. And last but not least, Sport, for activities relating to grassroots sport. Activities are split between those managed in each participating country at national agency level and those managed centrally in Brussels. For centralised actions managed in Brussels, you apply to the European Commission and they manage your project. There's more detail about this on our website, erasmusplus.org.uk. For decentralised actions, you apply to the national agency of the country in which you're based. So for a UK organisation, you apply to the UK national agency and your project is handled in the UK. In the UK, the decentralised activities, Key Actions 1, 2 and 3 are run by the British Council and a chorus. Together they form the UK National Agency. At the British Council, our team manages Key Action 1 in both schools and the higher education sectors. For Key Action 2, we manage schools, youth and higher education. So for higher education, the British Council manages Key Action 1, Mobility of Learner and Staff. Key Action 2, Strategic Partnership. Today's webinar is about Key Action 1, Opportunities for Higher Education, focusing on mobilities between programme countries. Key Action 1, Learning Mobility of Individuals, is all about providing opportunities for individuals to improve their skills, enhance their employability and gain cultural awareness. It is the largest part of the programme, and in 2017 just over 71% of the UK budget was allocated to this type of project. Roughly €95 million was allocated to Key Action 1 projects across the 5 fields of higher education, adult education, schools, vocational education, and training and youth. Under Key Action 1, organisations can apply for funding to run mobility projects. These projects enable organisations to offer structured study, work experience, job shadowing, training and teaching opportunities to staff and students. And the higher education strand of funding focuses on higher education staff and students. For more information, see pages 32 to 51 in the 2019 programme guide. A link will also be available under the video. Under Key Action 1, the aim is to ensure high-quality mobilities with maximum impact. For students, study placements should form part of the student's degree at a short cycle, such as foundation degrees or level 5 qualification. First cycle, which is bachelor or equivalent, second cycle, which is a master's or equivalent, and a third or doctoral cycle. Staff that are employed by a participating higher education institution can also participate in staff teaching or training mobilities. The duration of a project under Key Action 1 mobility between programme countries is 16 or 24 months. The start date for 2019 Key Action 103 mobilities is the 1st of June 2019. On the screen, you can see the project end dates, depending on the duration you select on the application. Here is the list of the countries that can participate in the Erasmus Plus program under this project type. The program countries are those who belong to the EU and also include former Yugoslav, Republic of Macedonia, Iceland, Norway, Liechtenstein, Turkey and Serbia. Please note Switzerland is not an eligible program country. You can find this list on page 22 of the 2019 program guide. Under Key Action 1 for higher education within Europe, there are opportunities for staff and students. Students can take study mobilities at partner universities from 3 to 12 months. Students can also undertake traineeships at organisations from 2 to 12 months. Recent graduate traineeships are also available. Students must be selected before they graduate, and traineeship should be completed within 12 months of the graduation date. Under Erasmus Plus, students can undertake a maximum 12 months Erasmus Plus mobility per cycle. A cycle is equivalent to a bachelor's, master's or PhD degree. There are teaching and training opportunities for staff as well. So teaching at partner higher education institutions and training mobilities for staff must be from 2 days to 2 months long. Please note that funding cannot be used to send staff members to attend conferences. Only staff members that hold a contract of employment with the organisation receiving funding can apply for Erasmus Plus staff mobility. Please note that the durations on screen exclude travel days. For more information, see pages 38 to 39 of the 2019 program guide. For your project, you must have at least one partner higher education institution or organisation in a different program country. For funding, it's important to know that there is organisational support funding awarded depending on the number of mobilities awarded. The Organisational Support Grant is a contribution to any cost incurred by the institution in relation to activities in support of student and staff mobility, both inbound and outbound. You can see that up to €350 per participant, up to and including the 100 participant. From participants 101 and above, the amount of organisation support awarded per participant is €200. There is also a budget available called Special Needs Support to help with the cost of special needs support or disability funding that a participant may require. This is available for staff and students with special needs requirements that will incur additional costs. Any applications for additional or special needs or disability funding is to be submitted separately. For each individual that needs the additional disability funding, you submit an application to us at the national agency with supporting information. After receiving the application, we assess each application on a case-by-case basis. There's more information on this on page 43 of the program guide. We will now look at eligibility criteria for funding. Only higher education institutions that have been awarded the Erasmus Charter for Higher Education, or ECHE, can submit an application. If your higher education institution has not yet been awarded the ECHE, then your application will not be eligible. The call for applications for the ECHE is managed by the European Commission, and therefore you will need to apply to the European Commission directly for accreditation. Consortia can also apply. The consortium must be accredited with the Mobility Consortium Certificate. Unlike the ECHE, you can apply for the Mobility Consortium Certificate at the same time as applying for mobility funding. If you are not awarded the Mobility Consortium Certificate, then your application will not be eligible. The link to the ECHE application will be provided at the bottom of the video. Please note, for consortium accreditations in the 2015 or 16 calls, the accreditation was only valid for 3 consecutive calls, starting from the call year in which you applied for the accreditation. Therefore, if you are an organisation that was awarded the consortium accreditation in 2015, you will need to apply for consortium accreditation again in 2019. Please note, individuals such as students cannot apply for mobility funding, and they must apply through their higher education institution. In addition to the eligibility criteria shown on the previous slide, applicants need to demonstrate they have adequate capacity to successfully deliver Erasmus Plus projects and administer them in accordance with the grant agreement with the UK National Agency and the programme guide published by the European Commission. This is agreed upon in the Declaration of Honour in the application form. You also need to bear in mind that the Erasmus Plus grant is intended to be a contribution to running an Erasmus Plus project and to the cost of participants. By signing the Declaration of Honour, you also agree that your organisation has the capacity to manage the grant. So, the deadline for KA103 is the 5th of February at 12 midday Brussels time and 11 AM UK time. For KA1 higher education, there is only one application round. That was a quick introduction to the Key Action 1, Mobilities between Programme Countries, for the 2019 call for higher education institutions. If you have any questions and would like support with your application forms, please contact us. We have a dedicated higher education team and the contact details are on screen.